Let's do the chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dudayambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dudayambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dudayambi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from their happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata gati gati parasum gati bodhi soha. Tayata gati gati parasum gati bodhi soha. Tayata gati gati parasum gati bodhi soha. So now time for some meditation, initially to release the tension in the body, focusing the mind on different parts of the body. And also during this meditation, you can realize the impermanent nature of all things, the unsatisfactory nature of all things in samsara. And there's no self to be found anywhere. Right now, get yourself comfortable. Bring your mind inside your body. Try to keep your body still, or during this initial part, you can move it a little bit to release some tension, or utilize the breath, the long out breath to release some tension. Or if you can do it with your mind, that's good too. Okay, so in fact, that's best. But sometimes we need these physical things to do as well to release the tension. So releasing the tension from the body, once we've done this, we try to keep your body as still as possible, relaxed as possible. So release the tension from all around your feet. and your lower legs, and around your knees, and upper legs, midsection, upper torso, lower part, middle part, the upper part, in between your shoulder blades, and the upper trap muscles that run between the neck and the shoulders, and your shoulders, and around your biceps and triceps and elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, and thumbs. And then up to the top of your head, releasing the tension from your neck, of course, all around your face. Make sure you're not clenching a jaw or frowning. And from the crown of your head. Now, even more briefly, scan the body once more and see if there's any leftover tension. And if there is, release it. And now you can bring your focus initially to the tip of your nose and follow the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose, all the way into your lungs and back out your nose again. Breathing in and breathing out. Physically, that's all we have to do, as well as being here. Mentally, all you have to do is focus on your breath and apply the antidotes if your mind wanders off the breath by replacing it on the breath. So we obviously continue to have the discussion, which includes this meditation practice, the discussion or commentary on Master Atisha Dipamkara's heart advice. And we're up to the part, as you know, related to the 6 perfections. And specifically, the 5th perfection of concentration. You can also add the extra technique, of counting your breaths. If you breathe in and breathe out, that's 1 and so on and so forth. Don't count past 10 though, because we want the breath to remain the focus. And if you get distracted on the way to 10, go back to 1 at that time. So as you breathe in, the air is quite cool on the back of your throat as it passes your throat, all the way into your lungs. They expand as they fill with the air. As a result of this, stomach rises a little. Then the stomach drops as you breathe out, as the lungs compress as the air leaves them. And the air is quite warm as it passes your throat on the way out your body. Breathing in and breathing out with an inner smile, with no worries, Let go of the past. Don't worry about the future. Even this present moment is fleeting. Just keep your mind on your breath. So if thoughts arise, any mental agitation, excitement, etc. arises, don't cling to it. Don't grasp at it. Also, don't try to force it away or try to deny it. But simply and naturally replace your mind back onto your breath. As you do so, let go of these thoughts and agitations, etc. And if your mind starts to become dull or sleepy, then wake it up a little bit by refocusing on your breath more brightly. So breathing in, breathing out. It can be or it should be actually, very relaxing to practice this concentration meditation. It's not meant to be stressful. It's not meant to be a chore. And even if you have a distracted mind constantly, how wonderful it is to be able to train this mind to concentrate. If you have thoughts, don't worry about them. Just let them go. Don't carry them around. Don't add to the basket or the bag of worries and thoughts. Just gladly put them down and refocus. So let's practice like this in silence for a bit. During your meditation sessions, whether it be this breath meditation to develop concentration or loving kindness meditation to do that, or develop that. Whatever meditation you are doing, Maintain good intention, bodhicitta intention, the altruistic, compassionate intention. To have this practice lead you, you could say, to supreme enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, unsurpassed supreme enlightenment. Or at the very least, have a good intention, to practice to develop the concentration or the loving kindness and so on. Often during the meditation session, you can recheck your mind just to be sure that you haven't wandered off or become dull. Because sometimes we may not be aware that that the mind has wandered off the object just through habit. So on occasions, deliberately recheck your mind and recheck your intention. So now we can feel really pleased with ourselves, and we can fill ourselves with universal loving kindness, utilizing the visualization technique of filling our whole being with the white light. Obviously, we are visualizing the white light filling our whole body, but actually it's filling the mind too, the heart-mind. As we utilize this visualization of filling the whole body with the white light. You could say it also includes the mind, but actually it's initially the mind. The mind is the chief. The mind is what we can train to be loving and kind and compassionate and so on. But we have this physical body. We're sitting here right now. So let's utilize that, visualizing in the mind, this body filling with the white light. We fill ourselves with so much loving kindness that it now overflows, radiates outwards from our heart center and enters into the heart centers of our loved ones in front of us, fills them with the universal loving kindness too. Have the wish that they are happy, free from suffering, and are peaceful. Now also radiate to strangers, and even those we may regard as enemies. Filling all of these people with this white light representing universal loving kindness, and wishing that they are happy, free from suffering, and they're at peace. So now we can radiate this loving kindness out further and further, distance-wise, to all sentient beings now, not just to human beings. All the sentient beings that live in the waters, on the land, even under the land, fly through the air, whether they're born from wombs, moisture, eggs, or through transformation, whether you know about them or not. This loving kindness in the form of the white light radiates outwards from your heart center and enters into the heart centers of all these sentient beings around your immediate area initially, and also throughout your whole state or county. And all of the states and counties throughout your country, to all of the living beings, without exception. Throughout all of the countries in the world, and also the oceans and all other waterways, down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. and beyond this planet alone, throughout the whole solar system and the whole galaxy and the universe and beyond. All the sentient beings, whether weak or strong, great or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born, may they all be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. And have your loving kindness pervade throughout infinite space. And for today, we will switch techniques now to practice the Tonglen meditation. Tibetan words meaning giving, taking. We're going to take all of the suffering from others and give away all of our happiness, good qualities, and so on. We are going to have the intention to free them from the suffering, cause their happiness, and path to enlightenment. At the same time, diminishing, eventually destroying our attachments and aversions and our ego, our self-centeredness. So bring to mind the suffering of others, the difficulties that others experience. You can relate to the difficulties you have yourself, and all living beings have similar, of different intensities. Some living beings, so much suffering all the time. That even if they get unconscious for like a second, that could be perceived as happiness. So visualize, or at least imagine, that there are innumerable sentient beings in front of you. I tend to visualize during this meditation like a hillside that's a gentle incline, trees around. It's an open area in the middle there that has innumerable sentient beings. The green grass, flowers, and so on. And all of these sentient beings in front of you. Now you can visualize from their heart center comes black smoke, representing all of their difficulties and sufferings, negative qualities, and so on. And it enters into your heart center and melts away. And you can, this is on the inhalation, on the in-breath. And you can really visualize they are free from suffering. And really know that your ego and self-centeredness, ignorance, is being melted away at the same time. And then on the out-breath, the exhalation, you visualize white light leaving your heart center, representing all of your happiness and goodness, all of your merits. And this enters into the heart centers of all of these sentient beings in front of you, giving them immense happiness, all of the good conditions they need to attain enlightenment, while at the same time freeing you from attachment and aversion. So let's do this for a couple of minutes. The in-breath, you take all of their suffering. On the out-breath, you give all of your happiness and goodness. So let's practice like this. So now we can feel pleased again. In fact, always feel pleased. Rejoice in your practice. Rejoice in your goodness. Rejoice in the goodness of others. And let's do the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious body Chitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of Shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. So I wanted to do more meditation today because of the subject, because of where we're up to. I'll repeat the line from Master Atisha's Heart Advice in relation to this perfection of concentration. Since this human life is wasted by indulging in distractions, now is the time to practice concentration. So, as you would recall, we're having a look at, first of all, I think 2 weeks ago, we had a look at the faults to be relinquished, or the hindrances, I should say, to be overcome. And then, of course, we had a look at the 5 faults to be relinquished and the 8 antidotes that help us to overcome this. And today we'll have a look at the different, what we call the 9 states of concentration. And then after that is the 4 mental activities, okay? And then we'll leave it there and go on to the wisdom aspect, or the perfection of wisdom, next week, which says, actually, being under the influence of wrong views, you do not realize the ultimate nature of things. Therefore, investigate correct meanings. So utilizing, of course, the wisdom of hearing, wisdom of contemplation, and the wisdom of meditation. So just to recap really briefly with no commentary, the 5 faults to be relinquished are laziness, forgetfulness, lethargy and excitement, non-application of the antidotes, and over-application. The 8 antidotes are the means for relinquishing these faults. The antidotes to laziness are faith, seeing the good qualities of meditative stabilization, aspiration, seeking to attain these good qualities ourselves, effort, delighting in engaging in meditative stabilization, physical and mental pliancy, an effect of the effort. The antidote to forgetfulness is mindfulness, maintaining concentration on an object continuously. The antidote to lethargy and excitement is awareness, knowing that lethargy or excitement has arisen or is arising. The antidote to non-application is application, engaging in the antidotes to lethargy and excitement. And the antidote to over-application is desisting from application, relaxing one's effort. Through applying the 8 antidotes, the 5 faults are gradually eliminated, and one passes through the 9 states of concentration. So, I'll only give commentary if I think it's needed. Okay, I know that we've had really long commentary through January 2021 to do with these. So you can revisit that. I think we spent maybe 4 to 6 weeks on it, just these couple of pages that I wrote myself, point notes and extra bits. So the 9 states of concentration are: 1, setting the mind. How are we doing for time? Setting the mind. This is collecting the mind and aiming it at an internal object, such as the visualized form of a Buddha, or the breath, as we do with the concentration meditation that we engage in. Number 2, continually setting, that is, prolonging concentration on the object more than in the previous state. Number 3, resetting, immediately recognizing distraction and returning to the object. 4, increase setting, collecting the mind from concentrating on the gross aspects of the visualized object of meditation, or the breath, for instance, and setting it more and more steadily on the subtle details of the object. 5, disciplining, knowing the good qualities of meditative stabilization and taking joy in them. 6, pacifying, ceasing dislike for meditative stabilization. 7, thorough pacifying, through effort relinquishing even subtle lethargy and excitement just after they arise. 8, making one pointed, generating meditative stabilization continuously within the context of its being impossible for the non-conducive to interrupt the process. 9, putting in equipoise, spontaneously fixing on the object of meditation without requiring the effort of relying on mindfulness or awareness, or mindfulness and awareness. So what I'll do, I'll just keep reading this as a couple of short paragraphs. I don't remember what it says, so I'm sure that it is holiness, so I'm sure that it's going to be valuable for us. The above 9 states of concentration are accomplished by the means of the 6 powers. The first state is accomplished through the power of hearing, the second through the power of thinking, and the third and fourth through the power of mindfulness. The fifth and the sixth are accomplished through the power of awareness, the seventh and eighth through the power of effort, and the ninth through the power of familiarity. The periods of the 4 mental activities, which are ways in which the mind engages its object, occur during the 9 states of concentration. Let me look. Forcibly fixing. During the first and second states, the mind is strenuously fixed on its object of concentration. Number 2, interruptedly fixing. From the 3rd to the 7th state, concentration occurs intermittently. Number 3, non-interruptedly fixing. During the 8th state, the mind is capable of staying on an object without interruption. 4, effortlessly fixing. During the 9th state, the mind spontaneously remains on its object. And he goes on to say, if one knows the nature, order, and distinctions of the levels explained above, without error, and cultivates calm abiding, one can easily generate faultless meditative stabilization in about a year. Okay, unless you've already done it. So if you want to, for the easiest way, really, I guess you could get this book. That's one way. But just review the class and just take little point notes for yourself and memorize these 5, these 8, these 9, these 4, okay? And the 6 powers, know what they are, know the 37 practices, and so on. Okay, so I think that was helpful. Hopefully you agree to revisit that when I noticed, when I got to this 6 parameters, I thought, yes, and we need to spend more time. And then I was thinking, well, what can I do with the concentration part? Yes, we should spend a few weeks and talk about the hindrances, the faults, and so on, okay, and how to overcome them, and actually put a little bit more time into the actual practice of the meditation in today's class, I think, which is the 3rd week we've spent on this. So that was my plan, and it worked. We've still got 4 minutes left, which is fantastic. So maybe we can talk about the weather. No, I'm only joking. So we can maybe do some other practice as well. So what I'll do is, first of all, before we do that, I just want to see how many more weeks we've got. So, friends, there is no happiness in this swamp of samsara, so move to the firm ground of liberation. Meditate according to the advice of your spiritual guide and dry up the river of samsaric suffering. You should consider this well, because it is not just words from the mouth, but sincere advice from the heart. If you practice like this, you will delight me, and you will bring happiness to yourself and others. I, who am ignorant, request you to take this advice to heart. And this is the advice that the holy being, Venerable Atisha, gave to Venerable Shupo. So, um, I'd say there's probably a couple of weeks in there. Next week, we'll probably spend 2 weeks on the wisdom part, and then another couple of weeks, and maybe another week to conclude or something like that before we move on. And hopefully you've enjoyed this teaching. It's been a few years before I first mentioned it to you. Just like the 8 verses of thought transformation, the commentary on that a couple of years ago. That was, I think I was talking about that towards the end of 2020. But eventually we got round to it. It is quite in depth, and because there's such short teachings, like compressed teachings in a sense, in verse form, they need a lot of commentary. Of course, when I say need, it's best that they have a lot of commentary, clear commentary, utilizing examples and things like this, so there's no confusion, so there's no misunderstanding. And of course, we can give shorter commentaries, no problem. If you know for sure that these teachings are for the benefit of all living beings, then it doesn't matter the length of the commentary because you're going to take it, learn something from it. Why we give longer commentaries is, first of all, to alleviate doubts and uncertainty about the teachings and any sort of clarify any things that could be, not totally clear. All right, so remember to always rejoice, as I mentioned before or alluded to many times. Rejoice in your goodness, even if you have engaged in negative actions and you've become aware of it and then applied the antidotes of having a positive regret and strong resolve to not engage in such actions again. Rejoice in that. Rejoicing is really important. It's really important for us not to get down on ourselves. But at the same time, don't be lazy, recognize our faults, how wonderful that is. Recognize when we need to practice with more kind of stamina, with more perseverance. And then as we do this, it gives rise to enthusiasm and joy and therefore rejoicing again, Always dedicate your merits. Even if it's a simple few words in your mind, you do something good for somebody, dedicate those merits, not for ego purposes, to increase ego, but to actually increase the habit in your mind of doing this, of filling yourself with joy and rejoicing in multiplying the goodness. You will engage in good actions more and more. And as you do this, you kind of exude loving kindness and compassion and so on, and others will pick up this vibe. I think we experience more energy, than we realize.